Hello, everyone. We are back. It's a special surprise episode, primarily just to test to see how everything goes. I'm not gonna lie, but I got myself Mr. Tony with me to go over just briefly some of the new free agent signings. I know it's been about a week since free agency started, but how you doing,
Mm,
Tony?
I'm doing all right. A lot of crazy signings with pretty big fantasy implications. So excited to break it down.
Absolutely, yeah, of course. And I think you know who we're gonna start with for fantasy talk stuff.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins.
I think honestly, fantasy wise, I'd say it's about even for him specifically. But this helps the tight end number 8, Kyle Pitts. His value is going to go up. It helps Bijan a lot, and it helps Drake London a lot. So it helps all the other Falcon players. But I do think Kirk Cousins is going to be around the same value as he was last year.
No, yeah, I think he's gonna be a step lower, just because I don't think he's gonna throw as much. I,
I
I,
mean, I mean, Bijan can catch too.
yeah, but I don't know. I think Kirk's gonna help everyone around him, but I think his numbers are gonna have a step down. That's my personal opinion, but I think overall it's going to be a positive fantasy implication for Falcon, like,
Players.
yeah, the Falcon players, like the wide receivers, the tight ends, the running backs. So I think overall it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a positive. I think Kirk Cousins is going to probably be, it, let's just say 50% break even. I think he's going to be at like 45%. So I don't think it's going to be much of a back step, but I do think he's going to not like his numbers are not going to be as good as what they were on pace for this year.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be around the same,
All
give
right.
or take.
Okay. Yeah. So that's definitely interesting. Where do you think he goes in drafts? I got him like as like a sixth, seventh, eighth rounder guy.
I got him around seventh or eighth. I mean, QBs. I mean, our league QBs kind of slip
Yeah,
until they
absolutely.
don't.
They definitely
So
slip.
probably be like seventh or eighth.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything similar to our, um, oh my gosh, dude, my webcam's on the fritz too, dude. I am not having a good week when it comes to stuff right now. But whatever, we're just gonna have to power through it.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, the next one I wanted to kind of briefly touch upon is Saquon Barkley. He went from the
Um,
Giants to Philadelphia.
I know the tush push, the Jalen Hurts stuff. I am still bullish on Saquon, because the Giants are just a dumpster fire, and he's not with a dumpster fire anymore. So I don't see how you can think he's gonna do worse.
Yeah, I just think overall he's going to have a plus. Like he's going to have a better season this year than he has last year. Outside,
Mm-hmm.
like outside outside of injuries, I think he's going to have a
Yes.
better year. Just 'cause I think overall he's just in a better opportunity.
Yeah, I think also he's going to be a great check down guy for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, yeah, great check down guy. Obviously really good in the run game,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I
even
think
like
he's.
RPOs, because like they could do like a potential like QB, like kind of like a new hybrid like QB sneak RPO that they might even be able to create. You know, even like
Mm-hmm.
potentially
Yeah.
direct snaps. You know, kind of set up in some sort of like hybrid pistol form and direct snap it to Sake.
Yep.
Um, so I just think overall he's just gonna have such a positive. I think he'll still be a top 2 round draft pick.
Yeah, I think our lead he's going. I think late first, early second.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think he slipped to late second, early third in most leagues last year. But I think he's gonna move up a bit and be a mid high second, late first for like almost every league now.
Yeah, he went. I think he might have went. Did he go first? I think he might have went first in our lead. I'm not 100.
Yeah, he was the
percent
11th pick.
I think
Tenth
just
or he
because.
was. I think he was the 11th because I think it went Chubb's sake, and then I took CD. I think that's how it
Yeah,
went.
I think he'll go around the same spot.
Yeah, I agree with you right there. Sorry, I was just posting a tweet about going live, so who knows? Maybe we will get a viewer or not. I'm not expecting anyone to pop in because brand new channel, only have a few subs, but wanted to just test it all out. I'm gonna be honest. All right, next one, which this one just interests me like crazy. I'm slow. My chair is just slowly sinking down as I talk. It's this is. I need a new chair apparently. All right, the next one is Calvin Ridley going from the Jags to Tennessee. I don't understand this. How does Tennessee keep getting great wide receiver after great wide receiver? Like it's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know. Will Levis is such a wild card.
Yeah.
This one's definitely very hard to predict. I think he's gonna slip off. I think his fantasy value is gonna go down a little bit.
I agree with you.
Hopkins is still great. I think he's still gonna be number one. They still got Treylon Burks, I think, who isn't terrible. I think Tony Pollard is gonna catch the ball more than when Derrick Henry was there. So him and I think it's Tajay Spears. I think they're gonna get more catches.
Yeah, we'll get more into Tony Pollard in a minute, but no, I agree with you pretty much on everything you said. However, I do think Calvin Ridley's going to. I mean, last season he had a bad season, so I think he's going to have about the same season-wise when it comes to numbers. But based off his potential average, I think it's going to be behind because I think he's going to have like 2 or 3 games where he's on hat trick watch or even gets a hat trick. But then he's gonna go on like a 4 or 5 game stretch where he's like 2 for 25. I just think that's how it's gonna go, just based off the QB situation in Tennessee. So that's just how I feel about that. I think Calvin Ridley's gonna be like a 3rd or 4th round pick. What about you?
I think he's gonna be around there too.
Do you think he's gonna have a similar season as last year, or do you think he's gonna like go back to slightly worse?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we're kind of on the same page there. All right. Next one is Josh Jacobs. This one's a really interesting one. He's going from the Raiders to the Packers. I think this is amazing because the Packers have a good O-line. They have a really good young quarterback. I think Josh Jacobs is going to do wonders to help Jordan Love continue to excel. I think this is like a win-win-win everywhere across the board.
I do too. I think Josh Jacobs is going to be elite in this role, I think.
Yeah.
Him leaving the Raiders that Raider O-line was not good and he still shined. I think Josh Jacobs should be a 1st-round pick.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Josh Jacobs, I believe with you. I think he should be a 1st-round pick in 12 and 14-man leagues. But I realistically see him as a top 3 2nd-round pick guy on average. I think, he's going to go anywhere between 13 to 16. That's where I go.
Know. I can't see him going. I mean, maybe I'm biased with our leagues. We draft running backs quicker.
Yeah. I'm just saying on average. On average.
Yeah.
So that kind of factors in the 10s and 12-man leagues too. We don't need to talk about 8-man because that's a joke. But I see 13 to 16. There are going to be leagues like ours where there's a little bit of bias and it goes above the average projection. But I do think he's a late 1st, early 2nd round guy that's going to be taken off the board.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think we're kind of all on the same. We're on the same page with this one as well. The next one, I think this one's also going to be. We're on the same page. Hollywood Brown. I don't know if this is a free agent signing or a trade. But
free agency.
It was a free agency trying. Hollywood Brown going from Arizona to Kansas City. His stock is about to skyrocket.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's gonna do really well. Him with Rashee Rice
and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, they're gonna be primed for another run for sure.
He's arguably wide receiver 1, but realistically, I think he's wide receiver 2.
You think Rashee's ahead of him?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Marquise Brown's gonna be that deep threat. He's just gonna. He's just gonna strike.
He's the 3rd target, I would say on average, and when Hollywood Brown's the 3rd option, he can be dangerous.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to have a significantly better season. Although he had a pretty good season last year, I think he's going to be even better. I say he's a third round pick.
Third? Too early to tell. I'd say probably around third or fourth.
Okay, all right. I mean, this is all of these are up to chance. I'm gonna go back and watch this after the draft to see where everyone goes. But
But like, do you think Hollywood? Do you think Rashee Rice goes in like the late second or early third? Like that's what you have to think. If you think
I
Rashee
think
Rice,
they're gonna go around the same. I think they're gonna go in the same round. To be honest with you,
Okay.
that's what I think. Because the Chiefs are just that team.
Yeah, they are.
All right, next one. This one might be the biggest, the most shocking, not surprised, if that makes any sense. Move.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry going from Tennessee to Baltimore.
The only thing that scares me is his age.
Yeah.
If he was 2 years younger, I'd say he's an easy top 5 pick.
Yeah. I think he's a safe second rounder.
I don't know, man. If he's gonna get work in that offense, like how bad could he be? Like Justice Hill does good in that offense.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like the reason why I say second round is that Lamar's gonna have his carries. Lamar likes to pass too. So you look at how he did this past season. He was very dominant in home games. In away games, he was a little lackluster. I think he does a little bit more in the away games, but overall, I don't think he's going to be such a bell cow. But I still think when he gets his totes, he's going to do well because that offensive line in Baltimore is really good.
Yeah, and I think that's why Derek, if he gets going, he's going to be. If he goes in the second round, then I think that's a little crazy. I think he's a first.
Yeah, I think yeah, I mean this is why I kind of wanted to talk about way too early, but you say first, I say second. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, next one we kind of talked about it a little bit before. Tony Pollard going from Dallas to Tennessee. Let me hear your takes first, Tony.
I would say he's in. I think he's going to be a bust. I'll say it. And
that's my take. That's my take too. I think by week 7, Tajay Spears takes the role.
I think best case scenario, he's an RB2.
Yeah.
Like absolute best case scenario.
Like
he's like an Alfred Morris.
You get like a CMC, or you get like an Aaron Jones, a Josh Jacobs, and then you're like, Tony Pollard's on the available. Let me take him. He's my second wide receiver. I think that's fine, but I would not have him as not wide receiver, as a running back.
Yep.
I would, if he's your second or third running back option, I think you're in good shape. But I would not have him as a first running back option. I think he's a third to fourth round pick.
Yep, that's fair. I think around the same.
And if he was a wide receiver, I'd be saying like 9th or 10th round. But because he's a running back, he has more value. So that's why I'm saying third or fourth round.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then this one is a little interesting. I threw it in there. Gabe Davis. He went from the Bills to the Jags. I think he's gonna.
I don't know.
I think he's gonna have the same season. He's gonna have. There's gonna be those two big play Gabe, big gain Gabe play games where he catches like 2 50-yard bombs for touchdowns and he just looks electric. But then he's gonna have his 3 for 45 games throughout most of the season. He'll have a couple bagels as usual, but I think he's gonna have the same production from how he was in Buffalo to now in Jacksonville. So
I do too.
Yeah, I think
he's gonna be in the same tier.
Yeah, I put him as a 6th, 7th, depending on the size of your league, 8th round pick as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So all right, we're kind of on the same page as that one as well. We have the same brainwaves, Tony. Apparently, here's the next one. DeAndre Swift. He went from Philly to Chicago.
This depends how Caleb Williams does. I think Caleb Williams is going to be good. So I would say his value goes up because he's the starter.
You think what was that guy's name?
Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert. You think he has the role over Khalil?
Yes, I do. They wouldn't pay a running back if that was the case. They would just stick with Khalil or draft someone.
All right. So I'm the opposite. I think he's an absolute bust.
Okay.
I do not think. I think his best years are behind him. I do not think he's going to do well in Chicago. The only reason why he did so well in Philly, even and that was only for a handful of games because they had so many running backs, is because of the offensive line. I think the Bears' offensive line is bad. They need help. I think DeAndre Swift either gets hurt or just is not productive, and by like week 12, he has some phantom injury and he gets shut down.
I mean, he's only 25. Like, I mean, he did good in Detroit too.
Yeah, but so did Kerryon Johnson, and what happened to him?
Well, Swift's better than Kerryon Johnson. That's incomparable.
Wow, that struck a chord. But yeah, I mean, remains to be seen. I think D Swift is like a 4th-round pick. I think he's an afterthought guy, and someone will snatch him in like the 4th round.
I think he's a third.
Third, okay.
I think he's a late third.
All right, all right. The next one we have Austin Ekeler. He's going from the Chargers to the Commanders.
He's worse off, definitely.
Yep,
I think he's declining, and I think Brian Robinson's not going away.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Eckler's done. I think he's there as like a mentor thing. He kind of takes like Ezekiel Elliott on the Patriots role. He's going to have 1 or 2 games where, he's the better guy. But I think overall, I think Eckler's done. I don't think he's going to do much in Commanders. I think he's a 4th to 5th round pick.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Eckler, he's been in the league a lot longer than most people think. He's been in the league since like 2018, right?
I think so. How old is he? Eckler.
I'm pulling
28.
Yeah, he's been playing since 2017.
Yeah, that's not young.
No, he's up there in age for running back. So I do think I think this is like a swan song, like last ditch effort. I think after this contract, he might make some practice teams, but like a Lenny Fournette. But I think he's done.
Yeah.
All right, the last 2 are former Colts. The first one is Zach Moss going from the Colts to Cincinnati.
Well, his obviously goes up because he's the starter. And I don't know if since he's probably going to draft a rookie, but safe to say Zach Moss is going to be better than he was last year. But I still would not take him because a rookie could always come in.
Well, they do have 2 young running backs already, with Chris Evans and some other guy.
Yeah, but Chris Evans isn't going to do anything. Let's be honest.
Fair. That's fair. I think his stock's going to go up quite a bit. He had some signs of pop last season. Don't know why they didn't roll with it. They just kind of like just 1 week is like, yeah, no, you're done. I mean, Cincinnati, they also signed Trent Brown for their left tackle. And the other tackle they already had signed is literally carbon copy, but younger Trent Brown. I think they're off, and they also have Ted Karras, who's like a center. I think their offensive line's gotten significantly better. I think Zach Moss is going to absolutely shine. I think he's a 3rd-round pick, but he has late 1st-round potential this season. Like, I think he gets drafted in the 3rd, but I think when you look at the end of the season, I think his numbers were like, wow, why didn't we draft him at the end of the 1st round? That's what I mean by that.
I don't know about the 1st-round potential. I don't know about that.
Right? So that's what the hot takes are for, Well, maybe it blows up my face. Maybe what I don't know about that blows up in your face. We'll see what happens. But I think he has the potential for the best change of scenery like value. And the last one I have is Gardner Minshew going from the Colts to the Raiders. Not really much to talk about, but it's a name that everyone really knows. And if you watch even a little bit of football, I don't think he gets drafted. If he does, he's like a Mr. Irrelevant in a fantasy draft. But I do think he makes things a little bit more interesting in Las Vegas because I don't remember who their mustache quarterback guy was, what his name was. But I think Minshew goes to play like he knows his role, but then like he just overperforms, and you're like, maybe I should keep him in as a starter, as like for the head coaches. But so I think he's going to be like a any given Sunday potential waiver wire pickup if your quarterback's hurt or you don't have a great quarterback and you're struggling to find something.
Yeah, I don't think I'm staying away from the Raider QBs. That Vegas O-line is not good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm primarily going to stay away from all Raiders, but
Yeah,
I
Dev's
think
gets.
I think there's going to be some quarterback issues. They might flip flop quarterbacks throughout the thick of the season.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. The last thing, this isn't really a free agent signing, and I know we haven't really talked about any defensive players because for most fantasy leagues it has no implications, and we haven't talked about anyone re-signing like T. Higgins because
Yep.
their fantasy value didn't change for the most part. But there was,
Higgins reset long term.
yeah, I know, no, but like T. Higgins, how he was last year versus how he is this year, like he still was Cincy, so
Oh, I
like
was asking, did he resign long term?
I think it was kind of, I forget exactly what it was.
Franchise.
Yeah, I think it was a franchise tag or it was some sort of tag like that. It might be because there's like 3 different tags now you can do, but it was like a franchise tag. But this one player, I saw he re-signed with the same team, and the contract he got I thought was crazy. Noah Fant re-signed with Seattle, 2 years, $21 million.
What?
Yeah,
That's.
Noah Fant.
I thought it was Disley. Don't they have Will Disley?
They have like 19 tight ends, Tony.
And they have Pharaoh Brown too. They got
Yeah, they got Pharaoh Brown, they got Noah Fant, they got Will Disley, they have Parkinson, and they have they have one other they have a lot of tight ends. But Noah Fant re-signed with Seattle, 2 years,
Yep.
21. I was expecting like a 1 year, $4.5 million, or like a 2 year, $8 million contract. He got 2 years, $21 million as like a fourth string tight end.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's Sam Bradford level.
Good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Holy shit.
Yeah. All right, Tony. Do you have any other names I might have missed that you wanted to bring up?
Your boy Sam Howell got traded to Seattle too.
Really? Sammy got traded to Seattle? I did not see that.
Yep. He did. Because LSU. That's why I think Washington's gonna take Jaden Daniels because Sam Howell went to college with Drake May, so they were friends.
Yeah,
So
no,
I think Washington's taking Jaden, so we're gonna have either Drake May or Marvin.
that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know about the Sam Howell trade.
Yep.
Any other free agent signings that you could think of that we might have missed?
Let me think. Mixon getting traded is a big one. He's on
Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna eat there. He got a 3-year extension too.
yeah, I think he's gonna do pretty well down there because Houston's on the comeuppance.
Oh, I agree with that completely.
Yeah, so I think Joe Mixon will do good. I think he'll be a solid second round guy.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit down there.
No, absolutely. But yeah, I can't really think of anyone else off the top of my head.
I'd like to see if the Cowboys get a running back. Like they have to be drafting a rookie or something.
Yeah, they have.
You can't be taking Deuce Vaughn or Malik Davis. They no way.
Yeah, you would imagine they'd have to do it. We might do a cast because my buddy Jake was going to come on, but he couldn't. But he said I would love to do one after the draft. So we might come back and do another 30, 40-minute stream for a post NFL draft fantasy implications vid.
Yep.
So if you want in on that, we can definitely do that. But
definitely. I'd be down.
yeah, I mean, outside of that, I can't really think of anything else. So from what I've seen, everything looks like it's been going well. Obviously, got to go back and sound check, but yeah, I think this was pretty good hit. Thanks for hopping on. You know, the home of YouTube where likes and subscribes mean everything. But I think we're good. We'll be exclusively on YouTube this fall.
Sounds good. I look forward to this year.
Of course, awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on, Tony, and have a great rest of your night.
You as well. Thank you.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.
All right, guys. That's it. We're done. Might see you in a month or two after the draft. We might not see it till September. Who knows? At the end of the day, who really cares? You'll watch us, you'll watch us, you won't watch us, you won't watch us. I hope you do, though. It mean the world. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. And as always,